it is superhero hype week here on the channel. There's a lot of stuff we're doing. We did 2 live streams back to back. One on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, the Snyder Cut hype stream, and then the Falcon and the Winter Soldier hype stream for the release of both. Tons of stuff going on here. Also on the secondary channel, plenty of things going on, so be sure to check out Degenerate Plays in the description down below. And also, we have started selling official channel merch, sort of, on my fiance's Etsy store, where I have designed several bracelets as well. A lot of stuff. If you want to wear a little piece of me, that sounds very weird and serial killerish, be sure to check it out in the description down below. And
I love wearing little pieces of you.
Okay, well, we're going to move on from that one. Everything there is handcrafted with love, and we appreciate you very much.
Become a fashionista today.
Here's the thing, by the way. Arkham Origins is back.
Back!
Kind of. I mean, kind of. People are really excited about this. I'm very happy that they are. I have a PC that can handle this, but there's a lot of misinformation around this story. First off, the TLDR of it is that Arkham Origins has not really been easily in any way playable on PC without messing around with a bunch of stuff, and no one really bothered to ever do it. Mm-hmm. And that was because of WB just kind of pulling the plug, not caring anymore. Now, what a lot of people are not reporting on is that it has always sort of still been playable on console. Up until last year, it was still playable on Xbox 360 and Xbox One until a bunch of douchebag nobodies messed around with the code of it and basically kind of forced everybody out because they found like a backdoor way into the servers and messed around with the code of the game, and then nobody could play. Yeah, and then I reported on it and people got triggered at me for doxing them, even though one of them was such a fucking idiot that they had their own like real name on their Xbox profile, and I blurted out for them.
They needed to be doxed.
No, I protected their butt by blurring out their real name and not even showing their personal info that they were sharing publicly with anyone. You didn't have to friend them. You didn't have to do anything. Anyone could see it. I didn't even show that, but apparently I doxed them, though.
No, you doxed them.
However that
You're
works.
a horrible human being.
Yeah, saying someone's online username online is doxing them. Anytime someone says Degenerate J in the comments, I've been doxed. So I will be suing all of you.
Actually, every time you say Magical Jill, I'm also being doxed.
We will be suing all of you.
I don't go by Degenerate Jill, so if you say that one, you're fine.
Yeah, that one's totally fine. So the thing is, this was actually, though, still playable on console up until last year, and it still technically is on PS3.
I'm actually really annoyed by the whole console thing, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, by them hacking it?
Yeah, because when I first wanted to meet you and be your friend, back in the day, it was around when you were playing, like, Arkham Origins on multiplayer, and I wanted to play too, but I only had an Xbox. And then they shut it down on Xbox, and then I couldn't play with you on streams at all. And I was like, well, there go my chances meeting the Degenerate J and becoming his friend, and now I'm marrying him.
Now you're sleeping with me.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's a crazy world we live in.
I just wanted to be
friends. And we're still not friends.
No.
No, so I do want to talk about this, though, because it is still available on PS3. You really do have to mess around with it a lot, though, and a lot of people won't believe it because they don't have the patience to do it. And you can get really unlucky with it. Really, it just comes down to going into the lobby and just pressing play over and over again and waiting, and you have to wait like 100 times. It's not that much, but sometimes I was sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes before I got in a lobby at all, and then you have to find players.
Yeah.
So you might be talking, a 2-hour commitment here just to play like 4 or 5 matches. It depends if it's worth it to you, how passionate you are about this game mode. But this was really fun. This was sort of like a cops and robbers type thing. This was Batman and Robin going up against the Joker and the Bane gang. It took place after the original Arkham Origins in the timeline. There was unique dialogue to it. There was the ability to play as Joker or Bane.
It looked really fun.
It is fun. It's super janky,
I didn't get
though.
To play it, but
yeah.
I thought it looked really fun from your streams.
It's ridiculously janky, but it is fun. And so it's nice that they are bringing it back on PC, sort of. There is some file messing around you have to do, but essentially modders have released a mod,
Very
no
kind
kidding,
of them,
on the PC in order to get this up and running again. It also does restore some cut content, like a couple of outfits as well that the player can wear. So there is really cool stuff in here. This was actually submitted to the Nexus mods by Rock Unsteady, which is very clever.
Actually, I'm the one who called the name clever. You were like, is it though?
I don't really think it's clever, but I think they're nice for doing this. They didn't have to. This was a passion project for somebody. Worth mentioning, no one gets paid for this stuff. You know, if anybody mods a game, guess what they're not getting really? Money.
Yeah, they're doing it for free out of the kindness of their heart.
That people can charge money for mods in certain things like the Bethesda creation program and all this stuff, but it's rare compared to just free. And it's really cool that they did restore this. I mean, is it though exciting to console players, I guess is the question. Not really. Yes, this does run better on PC, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a PC, what does this matter? This would be like...
Is crossplay not available on it?
No.
Oh, so even though more players might be playing on PC, if you were playing on PS3, you just won't be able to play with them. That's a little lame.
Well, yeah, and you probably wouldn't want to, though, either, because it runs at like 20 FPS on PS3. It runs at like upwards of 60 on PC. You'd just get massacred. There'd be no way. You wouldn't even see stuff coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be ridiculous, but at least I guess you could play with somebody. As is, I know that there are groups dedicated to keeping these games alive. For example, I've talked about the Arkham Rogues before. They have their own YouTube channel. They also have their own Discord. And a lot of people every day still will get together and say, hey, do you want to jump in a lobby on PC or PS3? And they will get together and do that. Every time that I've streamed this game, which I'm sure a lot of you remember, I was streaming this in 2020 and plan to again in 2021 at some point, I would jump in the Arkham Rogues Discord chat and actually talk to them, and they would help me organize and get players on so that I could get full lobbies a lot faster than, you know, just any old
Very
person.
cool people.
Yeah, they are really cool. You know, and that's the thing though too, is that even though there are these groups dedicated to keeping this alive, it does seem like Rocksteady, I guess not Rocksteady because it's not really their thing, but WB Games didn't really care about it, and Rocksteady never saw fit to continue it, you know, in Arkham Knight or anything.
I think it would have been awesome in Arkham Knight. Like, imagine a multiplayer. You can play as all these different characters. Batgirl, Nightwing, all the rest of them. The whole Bat family, you know. And you can play as them, and you can play as all of the villains in the game. Because, like, you got Scarecrow, you've got Jason Todd, you've got, friggin' what's-his-face?
I have no Two-Face?
Yeah. You got a lot of enemies in that game you could play as. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would have been really fun.
I think it needs to not take away from the development of the core game.
No.
If it didn't, sure. I mean, Arkham Knight had enough problems at launch that I don't really want to think about what would have happened, I guess, if they did include this.
That's true, but I do think it would have been fun.
It was weird to just throw it in one title and never again.
Yeah.
That's what was odd to me. It didn't exist in Asylum or City.
They could have also made a completely separate online Arkham game.
Yeah. Which
would have been really cool. I would have loved that.
Sell it for $20 or $30 at a discount and just kind of have like your Arkham Overwatchy type thing or like Arkham. Yeah. I mean, you really could have. I don't know why they didn't. And, you know, there are actually a lot of underrated multiplayer modes like this, though, too, that don't see support anymore. But some of them you can still play. Another example, like the one I think of the most like this was the multiplayer from The Last of Us 1. A lot of people love the factions multiplayer where you gather resources, you do like a team deathmatch type thing with all these characters in different gangs, essentially.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot actually like this in terms of that more niche player base. And the people who were into it, they loved it to death.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, for those people, this is hype. This is awesome. If you have a PC or, like, you're a gamer who maybe, you know, you grew up on console and now you got a PC, anything like that, I know that you need the game itself, and I know for a lot of the stuff in the game, like the, you know, the costumes and stuff to be unlocked, you need the season pass. But if you own those two things, all you're doing is just messing around with one file, and you're good. Sadly, though, it doesn't really do anything for the Xbox community, and the PS3 community is still left running on a very skeleton crew at 20 FPS, where it's like, if that's all you got to play it with, there's not
really
many
sad.
people left.
Yeah.
It's just too bad. I think that this goes to show, like, something I was talking to you about earlier with, like, COD Warzone is everything dies. Like, even digital things, and it sounds dark and gloomy, but it's like nothing is around forever, you know?
It's really sad, though, because, like, you mentioned to me, how are you going to feel, you know, in a couple years when Warzone dies and you can't play with the skin anymore? And I was like, wait, Warzone's gonna die? And you're like, yeah, I mean, everything dies eventually. And it just kind of sent me into an existential crisis. Like, oh my gosh, like 2028, we're not going to be playing Warzone anymore. What are we going to be doing? We're going to be playing the next COD? Like...
Well, and then it makes you wonder what the point is of spending money. I mean, there's always these ways now in these online multiplayer games, especially compared to then, although you could buy crates then, too, actually, in the Arkham Origins one.
Mm-hmm.
There's always ways to buy things, like buy skins, buy guns, buy gun camos, buy execution animations, all this stuff. And where does it go? At the end of the day, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, some guy might just come along and say, I don't care about this game anymore and I'm in charge of the company that made it. We're pulling the plug, see ya chump. And you might not play it again. And that does suck.
It does, yeah.
I don't want to make this like a sad video. It's really cool what these people did.
No, this is a sad video.
It has to be. Someone cue the funeral music. I mean, it's really cool what these people did on PC. For those players, that's fantastic. There's an easy way now to do it. All the major gaming sites are reporting on it, although they are wrongly saying that it was just dead on console permanently, which it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still just kind of a reminder, I guess, of how these fun niche experiences, and even the huge ones that aren't niche, they won't be around forever.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to enjoy them.
But people do try their best to keep them alive. And
yeah.
I admire that.
And luckily, there's a lot of people out here that want to preserve these games.
Mm-hmm.
The sad requirement for multiplayer games is people.
Yes.
In 10 years, if nobody wants to play it, even if you have the code and servers, it's still dead.
Yeah.
But there are huge groups dedicated to restoring and keeping single player games especially alive, like what we're seeing happen with Metal Gear Solid 4 on PC, running at 4K and all this stuff instead of 720p on the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
These modders and these programmers are stepping up and going well above and beyond what the companies are doing to preserve their games and keep them alive. A lot of them just leave them in the dust, and then it's people, they're really passionate, picking it up and dragging it into the present.
Because they love the game.
Yeah, and that's what you need. That's something gaming misses now, is these passionate people, not passionate who get on the mic and call you the uh-oh gamer word, and then get really pissed at you and send you a message.
Wait, which word is that again?
I'm not going to talk about that. Send you a message about your mom. Not that passion, but the passion of I'm going to devote hundreds of hours of my life to restoring this game. And the reason I wanted to give that, I don't know, aside is just because I think that passion's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The world needs more of that. People that are this excited to bring something back and keep it alive. And I think that this is what Arkham Origins deserved. It's often overlooked and underappreciated, and it's nice to see a group appreciating probably the most niche aspect of the entire game.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was an Arkham Origins multiplayer when I got the game, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people just skipped right over it.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea until one day I just saw you streaming, and I was like, you were playing multiplayer, and I was like, what?
People thought I was a hacker, too, because I was just playing the online. It's no, dude, I'm just somebody who had the free time to keep clicking play online. Not really a hacker. Wish I could. Anyways, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited about this? Do you have a PC? Would you ever consider not buying a PC to play this, because that would probably be a bit of a stretch for, quite a bit of money. But
yes, well.
Would you try and play this if you were at a friend's house who had a PC? Is this something exciting to you? Does it make you want to open up the PS3 again and play maybe?
Nah.
Not you? No, you hate old games?
Yeah, I hate old games.
I get it too.
I can't stand older games.
If a game's older than a month, I say it's for old people, for boomers, and I throw it out.
Yeah, me too.
That's why
we don't even keep any of our games anymore. We just take the disc and throw them out after they're a week old.
If you see a background with games, that's a paper insert. It's just an ironic joke.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this. As always, subscribe for more content. We appreciate you very much. Superhero Hype Week, more videos to come.
Yay!
Actually, 2 uploads on Saturday on the main channel. So lots of stuff happening. We'll see you later. And hey, it's Thursday, right? Today will be Thursday?
Yeah.
Enjoy the Snyder Cut if you want to watch it.
Enjoy the Snyder Cut. And stay shway.